Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Dave. And we're your co-producers.
What? That's perfect. Leave that shit.
Game
That's
of
the intro right
Thrones.
there.
I want you to put your hands together
There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause.
There goes the neighborhood.
Yes. So, episode, what did I just say? 45. 45 of the SmokeScreen podcast, and we're finally doing, damn it,
Episode 5.
episode 5, and we do have another one.
We do. We found out we're going to have 6.
We're going to have at least 6, and I'm telling you, this is a doozy. I think we got something pretty sweet here. And
Not to toot our own horns here.
yeah, but it don't take much from Dan and Dave.
That's true.
It don't take
That's
much.
true.
It just takes, common sense and really.
I feel like we rolled the damn clock back. I think we
Yes.
that we made an episode that belongs back in those early seasons.
It really does, man. When we do these, we go back and watch the episode. This time we did not. We watched our last podcast to make sure we were on the same page, because when I moved, I lost my notes and shit.
Right.
But we got a good one here, I think, because when we do these, you can picture it. You can picture it like it's happened. Like
Yeah.
I think it happened almost. in
I
my
know,
mind.
me too. We try to think about scenes and
Yes, even down to some lines.
right. So I feel good about it. I'm actually way more excited to do this than
Than you thought.
Yeah.
yeah. Because we
You too?
Yes, because
Yeah.
you do it and you're like, oh, you have to bring the show back up, and it brings back those feelings of how they fucked it up, and then you're like, okay, let's see it. Let's try to remember, because we had a really good plan going in. We're excited about it, but
Right.
every time you're pissed off about the real show, but it kind of becomes real as you're going through it.
yeah.
It kind of becomes like, oh yeah, this is the way it should have been, and you like I said, you can picture it, so it makes it like real to me.
It does me too. I mean, I go into it like, who's the black-haired kid that died and came back
Yeah,
life?
and then by the end, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, we got goddamn
It's awesome.
scenes lined up and lines and shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yes, we have it all written out here. We're ready, and we're gonna have a part 6, like the show did, to wrap some things up. And our finale is gonna be a little different. I think we're
yes,
doing
it
it in the
is.
right order. Real quick, I wanted to do a shameless self promotion, little plug. Because these might get views compared to other videos,
That's
right? Because
true,
we're doing
yep.
Game of Thrones.
Might give views.
For anybody that doesn't know, that haven't watched in a while, I'm writing a book, and I'm almost done. James is actually writing a book too.
Yep.
He's doing a memoir, but I'm doing a fantasy book that I'm actually on version 3 of the manuscript. So there is a link in every description now of a sign-up page you can go. It's an Indiegogo, just a sign-up page. I just wanted to mention this. You can go sign up, put your email address in, that's all it is, and you'll get updates on, when I'm going to launch it and all that kind of stuff. And I've already got a cover, maybe. Really, I can't show it
think
yet.
you have a
I can't
cover.
show it yet. I cannot show it yet, but I'm really excited about it, really close. And I don't know exactly when I'll be announcing anything, but it won't be too far. The plan is what is it? September?
Yes. I think it's the
Damn.
7th, maybe.
Yeah, it's like the 7th or 8th or 9th now.
okay.
By the time we're recording this, Jesus.
2 days
Yeah,
off.
I didn't even know yesterday was Monday, dude. I forgot to stream on Twitch. I thought it was Sunday all fucking day.
It's so crazy.
It was the weekend, the Labor Day weekend. Even though I'm not affected by it like that anymore, still gets me screwed up. So I thought yesterday was Sunday. I thought today was Monday. Anyway, the point being that I wanted to get that out maybe in print by Christmas, but I can't really say yet. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, check that out if you're interested. I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of becoming a real thing now. 55,000 words, I think.
Awesome.
And I need to, there's more editing and stuff to do and all that kind of stuff. But now that I see like some artwork that I can't quite show yet, it's becoming a little more
good.
real.
I can't wait till you can show it.
Anyway,
And I will say this before we get started, that sorry that it took so long. When we watched that episode back today,
yes.
I mean, wow, we were still like, you could tell that coronavirus was a novel concept.
It was. It was.
And
It was pretty new,
so-
but it was new enough to see COVID-19. That fucking preacher guy.
And so, it's been 4 months since our
Been a
last
while.
episode,
It's been a minute,
but
and everybody's
I
been
appreciate
asking.
your patience. And I guess if you can be patient with Germ about that book, 4 months isn't too bad.
Oh God, yeah. You've been waiting 12 years for that shit.
Yeah.
Going on 13.
So
Yes.
I'm happy that what we're giving you is worth the wait. I think.
I think so too. And because every podcast, the first comment that I come across is,
This one, we're gonna put this one out. It'll be like, where's episode 6?
It will. Great podcast, but when you're doing the next Game of Thrones, I'm really enjoying them. We're doing it tonight. We're doing it. So
Yeah, you'll be able to tell left-handed people did not write this one. I love y'all
I
left-handed
know
people.
I
I was trying to troll a little bit.
carried over from the last podcast. It's just a joke. Go watch that one if you don't catch that reference. I just thought of Captain America. I get that reference.
Yes.
Anyway, should we jump in?
I think so.
I think we
You want
should.
to kind of catch them up to speed where we were?
I guess we can. So in episode, because we want you to go watch them.
Yep.
So in episode 4, we basically had the Battle of Winterfell taking place. They had got defeated. They left through a secret passage Tyrion knew about from reading about the history of Winterfell.
Yes.
They came out in Wintertown to head towards White Harbor. Varys went missing,
Yes.
interestingly enough. Dany did escape on Drogon. We still have Rhaegal is alive in our story.
Yes.
And they basically met up at White Harbor with the Manderleys. Bronn showed up with a handful of Lannister people. So they still have some people, but most of them are wiped out.
They had the meal and the
Exactly, just in a different place.
get their bearings.
Right. And the plan is to, they know now they have to go ask Cersei again for help because they didn't stand a chance against the Night King in Winterfell.
And did you say Bronn met them there?
Yeah, Bronn showed up with
Yeah.
a handful of Lannister people.
That's
He
right,
was
Bronn.
not a
Yep.
cocksucker.
He
as
was
we
not.
mentioned before. That was a big point.
That was a big point.
And so he showed up, and they were basically heading towards, the idea was to leave White Harbor, stop by Dragonstone for a few more reinforcements called Yara, because she had retaken the Iron Islands. She has
So, there's a Raven.
a small iron fleet going on. And then she was to join them going to Blackwater in case Cersei tried to firebomb them and shit, basically.
Right.
And so that's where they're heading.
And
That's where we left off,
on
pretty
the
much.
way, Bran had the
Yes.
visions.
On the way, Bran had some more visions, and
Yes.
he thought for some reason that he needed to go to the Isle of Faces. And on the boats, he told Jon this, and they decided to take Mira. Also volunteered to go. She's in our story again, as Howland Reed was, her father.
Right.
He died when they escaped and all that good stuff, basically helping them escape. So Mira and Bran and Jon will now want to head to the Isle of Faces. He's not 100% sure why, but he knows enough to put it together that he needs to go there for something.
Yes.
I think.
And
That's about it.
Dany, since Dany was flying, she saw the Iron Fleet,
Yes.
destroyed it in the last episode.
Instead of like this bullshit hiding behind an island
Yeah, can't see anything till I
Can't-
get right on it.
and then running after Rhaegal drops out of the sky is just dumb.
And I think we left off with John saying his goodbyes because now,
Yes.
like we said, we got John, Bran, and Mira are going to take their little side trip
On Rhaegal, by the way.
right.
John still has Rhaegal in our story.
They're heading to the Isle of Faces,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the pack, fleet and all, because they sent the Raven to Yara,
Yep.
they're going to King's Landing, and that's kind of where we left
They're
off.
headed towards King's Landing
When
from
Jon
Blackwater Bay. Yep.
Hugs her to say goodbye.
Yes, that was the ending.
He feels a little baby bump, and that's where we left
And
it.
rubs her belly, and she kind of looks at him like, "Yes, this is happening." This is the
Yeah.
thing. So that was the closing of that was the overview. Go watch it. Watch them all. So with that in mind, shall we start?
We should.
Shall we begin, David?
Is the water warm enough?
Or wait a minute, were you Dan? I can't remember.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Dave. And we are your co-producers.
We're fixing this shit.
We are. We're doing it right this time, we promise. Okay. Opening the opening scene of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells, as they call it. We don't have names. You can make up your own. We see, which I just mentioned, the fleet kind of approaching King's Landing in Blackwater Bay. So you see the city there, you see all the boats, you got Targaryen boats mixed with Manderley ships and some Iron Fleet ships as well. We have Dany and Drogon flying over, obviously, keeping watch and all that stuff. So that's the opening scene. The way I pictured that one was you have this feeling like, fuck, they're so screwed. They don't have, it's just not enough, and if Cersei just says, kill them all, they'll be dead in 10 minutes. But they do have a dragon, and our dragons are actually they have a point in our show.
And I was saying in that scene, I kind of feel like, because Dany knows that they might be a little outnumbered and war weary already,
yes,
she almost kind of does a flyby to
I
make
like
it
that
look
idea.
A little bit, kind of flex a little bit and say,
little
hey,
flex,
don't forget.
Exactly.
We're
going to come in peace, and we're going to talk to you at the gate, almost like the scene with Missandei.
Yeah.
But don't forget, because we just destroyed Euron, you probably already have word about that.
Right.
This is what I have here, because these are actually useful in our world. You know what I'm saying? Not when they just like occasionally need to be.
Yeah, we had a better budget.
Exactly. We did. Unlimited, actually. So that's the opening scene. Then we have, we see the Hound being taken into the front gates with a Lannister guard basically escorting him, and he's shackled. Or I think we had ropes.
Yeah,
he had ropes tied around his hand. And they basically approached, pick a gate. I guess it could be the same one where they had the Missandei conversation in the real show.
Right.
What is he here for? Where are you taking him? To the Queen, is what the Lannister guard says.
Right.
Okay, yes. So Jaime had decided, right, I've got to get to her because she's not going to listen. I've seen now, because he's been through the battle. He's seen the horrors of the Night King right in his face. He's seen there's no chance.
It really changed everything in his mind.
The perspective, even though he knew that 100,000 sounded like a lot, he saw it. He lived through
and
it.
saw how vicious it was. And to in our world, as you'll see, I think was it episode 3 or 4, whenever it was, he does still break her heart, but he does it for a different reason. It's not because he's kind of just like,
yes, exactly.
I've always loved her. It's kind of like, okay, I really need to go talk to my sister.
I do, because I have a child on the way, and I don't, there is still the Brienne Jaime thing, but he still has the reason with her, and they need to all get in the gates.
Yeah.
So the idea is, look, I have to try.
And because he realizes if Cersei doesn't get on board, they have no chance against this army.
Yes. It doesn't matter where they run, they can't, eventually they'll run out of places to run.
Yeah.
And they'll, it doesn't matter if they go to Essos, for Christ's sake. They have to make a stand somewhere and figure out something. And they also, they're aware that something's going on with Bran, but they're in their mind it's more of a physical battle thing, right? So that's part of it. So Jaime, he takes he leaves, kind of separates himself, and goes in through Tyrion's secret passages that he's now aware of. He was made aware of these in past seasons. So his idea is like, I'm going to get up there and try to reason with her. I'll probably die, because now I've betrayed her in her eyes, because I left and kept my word to go to the north. But I'm going to go try, because this is the only chance in the world that my child has, and maybe Cersei can live in Castle Rock, or whatever the situation may be. But he's got to try.
Yeah, if he doesn't convince her, every outcome he plays out in his mind ends horribly.
That's right,
for her and his child.
Exactly. So Jaime sneaks in. Essentially, we have the next scene. We have the Mountain opens the door from Cersei's chambers, because he's always going to be right by her side as usual. And we see the Hound and the guard standing there. So the Hound is being escorted by this Lannister soldier. So the Mountain opens the door. Cersei sees them standing there, but almost at the same time, she sees behind them, as they start to speak or whatever, she sees Jaime approaching from behind them, and picture the stone hallway there in the Red Keep.
Exactly what I'm picturing.
So she sees Jaime approaching. So the timing's there where he kind of shows up. He made it through, and I don't know. I think he would be able to walk through, essentially. I don't know if everybody knows the situation, every single Lannister guard.
That's the way I feel.
So I think he, just like in the other episode, he got in there and tried to wave his golden hand up like, it's me, but he didn't get into the gate. So sees him approaching from behind the Hound and this Lannister guard. Then Cersei decides to let Jaime in, right? And says, this was a great line that James came up with, you go handle your brother, I'll deal with mine.
Right.
It's a great line.
Yeah, she knows what's about to go down with the Hound.
Yes,
and
she knows that he's a prisoner, and she knows the history, and so she says, Sir Gregor, go take care of your brother, I'll take care of mine, and lets Jaime in the door. In the room with Cersei, and this is, it's because Qyburn's standing there with her.
Yeah, she's not going to be alone.
Yeah, she's never really alone. So Qyburn's standing right beside her as usual, awaiting whatever her command may be. So Jaime, in this same scene, starts to try to talk to her and try to reason with her, essentially, talking about, look, we're not coming to attack your city. He talks about the Night King and the threat that it really is. He's seen it now. He's lived through it. They have no chance. No army has a chance. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Even with dragons up there, they didn't have a chance.
Yeah, I picture him being like right out there in the harbor is our fleet. In case you haven't heard, Euron's fleet's destroyed. We're out there in the harbor. We've got a dragon at the front gate and all of our men.
Yeah.
And
so he kind of plays,
but we come in peace.
That was the idea, I think, right? As he's telling her, look, you can do this peacefully, or if we have to for survival, we do have some people left, and 2 dragons, by the way.
Yeah,
and Euron is gone. There, you have no Euron coming to rescue anymore.
That's right.
It's not like he's trying to threaten her, but he's also got that there to also in his bag.
Yeah, say, hey, all that shit's out there, but look where I'm at.
Exactly.
I'm here talking to you. I want to tell you this. And
exactly.
You need to listen to me.
Exactly. So then, in response to all that, basically, talk about you can't win, she says something to the effect of, oh, but I can. And orders Qyburn to go open the gates and let the people in.
That's right.
Because now you got the Northerners coming in. They're rolling in. Some are already on, on shore at the gate or whatever. One of the gates right there at Blackwater. And Qyburn leaves the room. And Jaime actually thinks and says, like, that was too easy. You're just going to let him in? You're saying yes? Like, he's shocked. He honestly thought there was going to be a big argument or whatever. But she says, Qyburn, go let him in.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? It worked twice now? Because now you got Tyrion having talked to her. That ended up being bullshit, but now, so he's weary about it, but at the same time, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That was a little too easy.
And the audience, too, because they know Cersei.
Yes.
And, I can just hear everybody in their houses seeing this scene going, what the fuck's this bitch up to?
Exactly, because that's
too easy.
That's exactly, and that's what Jaime basically says is that was too easy. What do you have planned?
Yes.
What is your end game? Because you're not just going to be nice.
And she's like, oh, dear brother.
See, that's a good line. Act that out again while I drink some.
Oh, dear brother. Didn't you learn anything from our father?
Exactly, yeah, because she's repeated that several times. That would actually work really good there. So he gets the vibe. He gets the vibe that something is up. It's not just that simple where she's just going to say, okay, yeah, let's save everybody. Because she's, in her mind still like, fuck the Northerners. If I can't have all this, nobody can. She's becoming the Mad Queen.
She is.
Anyway. Then in that same conversation, just to add a little detail, we had, she says something to the effect of, the Mad King opened up the gates once only to be slaughtered. And you can picture this from Jaime. He lets that sink in for a second, and his eyes open. You know that Jaime Lannister look from the show. His eyes open wide, and he realizes something's up, and he says, "What did you do?" I mean, you know that look. If I say the look,
if you say the Jaime Lannister look,
the Jaime Lannister surprised look,
you know it.
When he figures something out, it's happened so many times, and she basically just told him. Jaime kind of realized, wait a minute, this is going to be like a slaughter. Like she just literally said, you know, it's kind of reverse parallel the actual Mad King story from the books that we've got so much. You heard about it in the show. You have the stuff with Ned versus, you know, Jaime himself sitting on the throne. He opened the gates for Tywin, and Tywin, you know, sacked the city for Robert. So this is kind of reverse parallel. I think it works. So he approaches.
He has the look in his eyes.
He has the look. He's got the look, and he approaches her mad with the look, like, okay, you've completely lost it. And she backs up from him and yells, "Sir Gregor," you know, as in, Mountain, come here, help me out. I mean, I can't exactly pick up a sword and fight this dude. Then we see him get close enough to backhand her with his golden hand.
Yes.
So I can picture that so well.
Yeah.
You know, pap, you know, thud. And so she gets hit by the golden hand, the backhand. Outside, we cut outside, right?
Yeah, immediately cut outside.
Immediately cut outside.
You hear her fall.
You hear like the thud or the scuffle or whatever.
Little commotion, yeah.
Commotion. And the Mountain, you know, hears this, and then the Lannister guard standing beside the Hound while they were still standing there actually pulls a dagger out. The dagger will look familiar, by the way.
It's a familiar dagger.
It's a familiar dagger. You'll understand. You'll picture the dagger when I say this. He pulls the dagger out and then cuts the rope that's got his hands bound together.
Yes.
Cuts the ropes. Then he literally pulls the sword off his hip and tosses it to the Hound.
Yes.
So cuts the rope, pulls the sword off, tosses it to the Hound, and then this Lannister guard walks away.
He walks into the...
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Walks into the room.
Yes.
Walks into the room. So a lot going on in Cersei's chambers in the Red Keep at first. The Mountain and the Hound are standing there getting ready to fight, obviously. And the Hound says, "I told you I was coming, cunt."
I love it.
It's just simple, short, sweet, and to the point in the way he speaks. So, yes. So they start going at it, and then we cut over to Davos in Blackwater Bay, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Davos, we were questioning on whether to send him with Jon, but I think we were thinking right when, you know, John's like, you need to lead the people on the ground because I got to take Bran over here.
Yeah,
Dany's going to be in the air, so you need to lead the people on the ground. You're the commander essentially down here. So Davos is in Blackwater, standing beside Tyrion on the docks, or either walking up towards the Red Keep, or not the Red Keep, but the gates.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, and they have this conversation like, you know, the last time I was here, there was enough wildfire in this water to blow this place to smithereens, or whatever line, you know, obviously from that era. I'm not going to say smithereens, but you know what I mean.
Something very similar,
something like that. And you know, because they've kind of mentioned this before. And then that's where Tyrion got his scar there, and then that's where, you know, Davos, his son, died and all that stuff. So they're talking about
You can imagine they would have this conversation by being there.
Exactly. The feeling's going to come back because they mentioned before on Dragonstone, but when they get there, that's a whole different thing. Like, he's thinking back to Mathos dying and the explosion, and Tyrion's thinking back to damn near getting killed by the Kingsguard.
Damn right.
Or by Cersei. So all these kind of things are coming back, but now they're on the same side.
But he says, you know, there was enough wildfire here to blow this whole place to smithereens.
Yeah,
like
blow this city to hell.
Yeah,
or something like that.
And then the cuts again.
And then we cut again immediately after he says that line, blow this place to hell, enough wildfire, whatever. We cut over to Qyburn, and he's talking to Wisdom Haleen. Now, we brought him back from season 4.
I think it's a good idea.
Haleen, of course, is the pyromancer, just in case people don't know. Wisdom is what their titles are. Tyrion actually mentioned him by name. But this was a little shout out to Roy Dotrice, who passed away 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that, who read the audiobooks for Ice and Fire.
Right. So we just thought it...
Yeah, it would be cool to have him still there. I mean, he was an older man, but you know, there's no reason. There was no indication in the show that he had, you know, left or died or anything like that. So, so we're cutting to Qyburn, talking to him in a room where you can see the wildfire pots behind him. Very similar to the last one, but it can be any number of rooms, obviously.
Yeah. So then, you know, the pieces start kind of coming together a little bit,
right?
For the viewer. You know, Davos just made that statement. we said earlier that
Cersei kind of set it
not
up.
that easy. What did she really tell Qyburn to go do?
Exactly.
You know, let him in. So he's talking to him with all the wildfire, and you start putting 2 and 2 together and going, "Oh my God!"
And then when the scene switches, boom, you see these green bottles behind Qyburn. You know, Qyburn talking to the Pyromancer. Then you're, oh fuck,
yeah,
it's
I see,
leading the lambs to slaughter. Type of thing.
That's why she let him in.
But here's the good part of this. This is what we talked about this from the get-go, from doing Dragon Raised by Wolves years ago, because it's a shout to the books a little bit. As they're talking in the wildfire room, little kids, as in birds, run in and start stabbing Qyburn and unfortunately the Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Because they cannot leave this room.
No.
So just like you saw with Grand Maester Pycelle.
Yeah, picture that.
Picture that.
That's the way this is going down.
Picture that, but it's Qyburn instead of Pycelle, essentially. So these little kids run in and they start stabbing this dude. I mean, he can't. There's too many little blades and daggers going into him. It's you know, just look at that scene. And so they're stabbing him, killing him. They both are on the ground bleeding, obviously. And then from the shadows, Lord Varys steps out and looks down at Qyburn, who is bleeding profusely and can't speak and all that. You know, he's spitting up blood.
But he's alive enough to realize.
He's alive enough to hear. He's alive enough to hear. Varys says, power is just an illusion we tell ourselves. So the idea here was that
you thought you were in control of these little birds.
You thought you were in control. I've been in control the whole time. I still have a purpose in this show.
Yeah.
And it also follows the books a little more closely. It was Kevin Lannister in the books, a little bit different, but it still was the same thing. It was setting up.
That's right.
It was setting up, and you know, Aegon in the case in the books, but Dany in this case.
Very good, yeah.
So Qyburn or Varys had disappeared. He was called a traitor. They assumed that he would just tuck tail and ran, but no, he snuck in. He has disguises. He does all this in the books. He got back in there and he killed Pycelle, who he had never lost control of his little birds.
No,
but I mean, it explains why he still knows everything, even up in the north.
Yeah,
you know, because he still knew everything.
And you see this, I'm really proud of this scene.
Yes,
because I still remember us at your old house, sitting there when they did what they did with him, had him spazzing way too early.
Yes, way.
And then, just, you know, getting killed on the beach like that. I hated that. You're a traitor.
Yes. You're a traitor.
He was too integral a part of the whole plan from Jump Street.
Yeah, they it's like every character arc, they took it from him to Jaime to obviously Dany and just like threw it in the trash.
Yeah,
they
Bronn.
just forgot Bronn too.
Everybody.
Forgot everything they had ever set up and just didn't follow through at all. It was just dumb. So in this case, Varys did not betray Dany.
No,
He's been there.
We kind of ourselves, we kind of made people wonder, where did Varys go?
Yeah,
when they were doing the head count.
But it was for a reason. He already knew what he needed to get rid of the inside people.
Yes.
He had to bring down Cersei, and you don't do it with an army. He's smarter than that. He's playing the game still. Littlefinger didn't survive the game. Varys won that game.
Thank you.
Is what I'm saying.
Good point.
Anyway,
good point.
Good point. So Qyburn is now dead. Varys is smiling over him. He says that we cut outside, and the Northerners are now coming to the shore and entering the city. So you still see some boats coming in. Obviously, it's deep water out there, so that you know they have to row in.
Yeah,
but they're coming into the gates now and all that kind of stuff. You see a Lannister guard say basically what the hell is going on.
Fuck these guys coming in.
Yeah, they're just letting them in. And he said another guard beside him says Queen's orders to let them in.
Yep.
So that kind of
Queen's orders.
You gotta. The reason we did that is because you got to account for you got Lannister guards out there, you know, obviously looking over the gates and the walls as they're approaching, thinking here comes war.
Yeah, and Qyburn had given the order.
To
open the gates,
but not quite yet to, you know, set up the wild. You know, whenever they're going to light the wildfire.
Is this the scene? Didn't we have Dany perched?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. So while this is happening, Dany is perched on the wall
because Dany wants to make sure. Okay, yeah, they say let us.
in. She don't trust anybody.
So if you can just imagine her perched there, not just kind of like a show.
Yeah.
But she's ready.
Yeah, because you got Lannister soldiers right there in the city. They're all there armed, and you have they're outnumbering people pretty much. And at any time they could just start going at it.
Yeah, everything should just
And
go to hell.
she's right there with a blowtorch. She's sitting on a living blowtorch. So she's sitting there kind of perched. She don't trust anything's going on, but she's trying to do the right thing to save everybody. She knows this is the best option right now, while John's off doing whatever the hell's going on with Bran, because she has no fucking clue. Nobody does. I don't even think John
And these
does.
dudes are filing in, and you can just picture, one Lannister guard looking at another and say, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Exactly.
And the other one's like, "Queen's orders."
Exactly. We don't time passes and we get that through TV shows, but you have to account for some of these things. Somebody let the gates open, and they're gonna be asking questions.
They would be.
I mean, it's just a realistic thing.
And people would be suspicious on both sides.
Both sides,
right?
Yeah. It's not gonna. They're not singing "Kumbaya." It is obviously the Lannisters versus basically Starks and all their people.
Yeah.
So then we go back to, we see that scene. Dany's watching out for everybody kind of piling to the city. We cut back over to Cersei's chambers, and we see this Lannister guard, walk into Cersei's chambers, kind of the continuation of where we cut off before.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaime, we see that he is choking Cersei. So we picture like the camera starting on his face, looking up, and then it pans down. But we see her eyes, like kind of as she's choking, going wide and realizing what's happening, and we see a flash of Maggie the Frog laughing.
Yeah.
Kind of the same. You can take the same exact scene you saw in season 5 in the
exactly what
opening.
I pictured when we were writing
the part where she's after she tasted her blood. So we see a little flash of Maggie the Frog, and that kind of portrays that she's realizing, oh shit. Now, just to say it, they didn't put the younger brother Valonqar thing in the show, but we did.
We did.
And so she realizes that he's the younger brother.
That's right.
That even if it was just a couple seconds or a minute.
That's right.
It was never Tyrion.
It was never Tyrion. It was him.
Exactly. So she kind of realizes that. She sees the flash of Maggie, the frog laughing, and she dies right there with her eyes open. Jaime's tore up and crying while he's doing it. He's not happy about it.
I'm glad you said that, because I was sitting here and the next thing I was going to say was, this is a very intense scene.
Yeah, this is not easy for him.
No, this will be the best acting that, what do you call him? Costco?
Everybody calls him Nickelodeon, Costco, Walmart.
Yeah,
exactly.
This will be the best acting Nickelodeon, Costco, Walmart does in the whole series. So imagine that. He's tore up from the floor.
Yeah, I mean, tears are running out his eyes.
He came there to save her and his kid.
And he has to kill her.
He has to.
And so what this does is repeats.
I'm sorry, but because in his mind, he knows what Qyburn's doing. He doesn't realize all the other stuff that's happening with Qyburn. Right. He's like, bitch.
Exactly. And so this parallels the Mad King.
It really does.
So he killed the Mad King to save 100,000 people in then it was a couple 100,000. Now it's like 1 million people. And so now that's his idea. He's got to save this 1 million people in King's Landing from his own sister and sacrifice his child and everything.
I love this.
So it's not easy. We're not saying like he's laughing about it.
Right.
He's obviously tore up about it.
He's tore up.
So this happens. We see that the camera pans back. We see this guard standing there. They had brought the mountain up and cut the mountain's rope and threw him a sword and all that stuff. This guard stands there and he looks up and the guard pulls his face off. And Arya now says, "You beat me to it."
Yes.
So obviously there's there's the thing. We're still using her skills in some big way. She brought the Hound up as a prisoner, essentially. Got through everything by killing a guard somewhere, taking his face, putting on the uniform, wrapping the mountain's hands up, and then
wasn't that like a trick in Star Wars?
Yes, yeah.
I thought it was like, let's act like prisoners.
Yeah, that's with Chewbacca.
Chewbacca,
Yep. That was Luke's idea, but Han had to put the cuffs on because he started. That's before they knew each other really well on the Death Star. So yes, Arya now is standing there, obviously in Lannister armor, and says, "You beat me to it." So she was still on a mission for her list and everything to take Cersei out. And, that's been a kind of a theme, people taking her kills.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she was mad about she only got a couple off her list, and everybody else killed them.
Right.
So then we go back to the Mountain and the Hound. Have been fighting. You can see they're beat up, they're bloody.
Picture the fight.
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar to the fight that they did show us.
Very similar.
How it goes down hallways.
Going down hallways and swinging and hitting, vases and shit.
Yeah.
And, swords clanking off walls and shit like that.
Hell of a fight.
Hell of a fight. You can see. So they end up, they're fighting, kind of moving around. They end up in the open map room.
Right.
We just thought this was a good visual, and it's a place you've seen before, so you don't have to introduce some other open kind of courtyard.
Right.
But in King's Landing right there, they end up in this map room. They're kind of picture them kind of separated, taking a breather where they're just beat up, they're bloody and all this kind of shit, right? On this map, dripping blood, and, they're exhausted, but the rage is still there. The Hound wipes his face, looks at his hand, and it's all bloody. And he takes his sword and lights it. Picture fucking Beric.
Picture Beric.
Now, because the show did use his blood.
Yes.
Whereas the books was wildfire, but the show is a little more magical.
Right. And the Hound was seeing the visions and the flames and stuff.
And so instead of just like ignoring that like that ever happened about the whole mountain with the arrowhead, we're going to use that. Instead of like the show where I did enjoy the fight and he sacrificed himself diving into the fire to kill him.
Right.
Because we did call that about dying by fire.
We did.
He purposely uses it.
Yes.
Like he's not afraid of it anymore. He uses a fucking flaming sword.
Right. And so they're down there in the map room. So remember in the map room, like there's the rails around up there, like where you could look over from up above. Mm-hmm. By this time, Arya and Jaime are looking down on them and see the Mountain do this shit.
They kind of watch this thing.
See the Hound do this.
Yeah, they kind of watch this thing, and she wants to go jump in, but it's also, I think he's already told her, look, whatever happens, this is my fight.
Yeah, this is my destiny, one way or another.
Exactly. So they watch. They watch and don't interfere. But essentially, we see a good fight, we won't have to go into all the details, but essentially, he goes like he's super aggressive now. He's not afraid of the fire anymore. You can see it like waving there as he's swinging. He's going hard, and he's starting to catch the Mountain with little cuts, and he's starting to catch some of his clothes on fire and his armor and all that kind of shit. So eventually, he gets the best of him. He cuts him down, and he's burned. He's on fire. Yeah, the fucker on fire, and he dies by fire.
He dies by fire.
Like it should have always happened.
Exactly.
Because it's payback. It's payback time is what it is.
That's a fantastic scene.
Yes. So he goes down, picture it in whatever way. I picture like he gets, cuts, but he's already kind of on fire, and he kind of drops to his knees and kind of falls, boom, and it's just a blaze. Yeah. That's kind of what I pictured.
Yeah.
So he dies by fire, and the big point there was the Hound was no longer afraid to use it.
Right.
And he kind of took Beric's role there from all he learned from him.
He did.
And their time together.
And Arya and Jaime come down the steps, and she's like, how many times have you done that?
Exactly.
And he's like, it was the first time.
That's it. Never done it before.
Never done it
Whatever.
before.
Because just
it
like
worked for that other cunt.
That's exactly. So that's that, because he just, he took a chance.
He took a chance.
And if he didn't light it on fire, it wouldn't have killed him.
No.
But he just knew it was going to happen because he did the flame thing, like he read the flames.
That's right.
But the idea was he embraced the fire.
That's the idea.
That's the whole idea. He embraced the fire.
Yep. And he got payback for his brother using fire on him.
Exactly.
It's just a beautiful scene.
It should have always gone that way. However, either way, it should have been by fire. And they did that kind of sort of, but you didn't have to have him.
It didn't have to be a murder-suicide.
Exactly, because he still has things to do. We're not done. We got another episode going, and we're getting, Cersei's now gone. We still have a big bad, I think, to deal with.
Yeah, we definitely do.
So to kind of wrap this up, the last couple of things for this episode, we're back outside. People are still coming in, all that kind of stuff. They're still filing in, whatever. It's going to take a while, obviously. You got the logistics of ships and boats and docks and whatever. So you got people coming in, whatever. Danny's still looking over everybody. And Varys walks out into the courtyard to the gate and looks up at Dany. Dany's shocked to see him. Like should she like kill him?
Exactly.
Because what has he done? He disappeared.
He disappeared. Now you're here?
And Varys looks up to Dany and says, "The city is yours, your grace." And we fade to black.
I love that.
I think it's outstanding. That was your scene. That was outstanding.
Dude, I honestly, like, I was actually just thinking this as you were talking earlier. As the soldiers, are walking in, it's not like they're all strangers. Because, know, like, when Robert and them came up, all the Lannister guards and the guys from Winterfell, the Stark guards, they were up there drinking and hanging out together and everything. So some of these guys knew each other. So as they're filing in, there's some uneasiness, I'm sure. But there's some familiarity there too.
Yeah, it's not going to be just like, well, they're the enemy attack. They've got the orders,
and
they're all kind of talking about it and mumbling.
Yeah, and a lot of them are old enough to remember. This has changed hands a bunch. What's happening?
Exactly.
I feel like that anyway.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, we've already had the thing with the guard just saying what's going on, the Queen's orders. I mean, that's spreading through.
It would.
And not that they have a shit ton of people anyway. They lost a lot.
They did
in season 7, and then Bronn took some. Mm-hmm. So now you got some other Lannister soldiers coming back in with Bronn.
That's a good point.
So it's not like everybody's just like got a Stark symbol.
I love thinking like this.
Yeah,
and it makes me wonder why or what kind of think tank or think sessions they had.
I know. I really wonder about
all it would take is just a few people who really gave a fuck sitting around a table.
That's what I don't understand how
these little fine details.
I don't understand how, with all the other writers that are involved that wrote these episodes, they missed this kind of stuff. But they're just going off. I guess they were overwritten or overruled if they had any objections.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened.
I don't know. So I think that's our episode 5, and we definitely have. I think we can do a 6 because we got to deal with Jon and Bran.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good 6 too.
We have some payoffs, and we have some aftermath, and that kind of stuff as well. So I think you'll see the ultimate, almost just following the 3 structure story act and that type of thing. You'll see the ultimate kind of pinnacle, and then as we call it, the epilogue.
Yeah,
for episode 6.
Right.
And we'll call.
It could be a good long episode. This next one. This one's going to be whatever it is, 45 minutes.
And I will say this though, we've done this series and we have not named any of them. We just kind of said what the show names are.
Yeah.
But our name for episode 6 will be A Dream of Spring.
Love it.
I mean, you'll see.
I love it.
That's the only one we're going to name because we didn't give our episodes names.
No.
But yeah, we'll call that one A Dream of Spring because we got it. We got a few things to pay off and finish up. Obviously, we got Night King still out there. You got the Army of the Dead. You got Bran and Jon. What's going on with them and Mira? And,
I think we named them Good, Gooder, Gooderer, Gooderus,
something like that.
And Dream of Spring.
There you go. That makes complete sense. It fits perfectly. There's a theme there.
You know me. I am not really cocky, but this is good what we're doing here. I'm digging it. And for me to feel the way I've felt, and for us to be going, we'll probably wrap this up in one episode. Now to know that we've got a good one here and a good one next time, I'm happy.
No, I am too. I think so. And it was just like you said, we were like, okay, let's go watch this, and we were trying to remember everything because I remember I lost my note, had all these notes, and
a lot of them.
And I lost all that stuff or probably threw them out. And then we watched this one. And as we started getting into her, like writing everything down, then we started brainstorming, like, it kind of started clicking again. And we got excited again.
Yeah.
We were walking around, like pacing.
It's awesome, man.
And then writing down lines and shit. So
good old days.
Mm-hmm.
So hang in there with us.
Yes.
We're definitely going to come back with a really strong episode 6. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we'll do that in probably the next couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that it might be another 6
right
months.
You never know, but
yeah, we'll see though. No, we'll see. We'll try to get it done.
Absolutely,
because we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, we do.
We got to wrap it up. So anyway, if you dig this podcast and you're not on YouTube, by the way, if you are, please subscribe.
Please.
If you're not on YouTube, please subscribe. But if you're on SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, or Podbean, Now, by the way, we're on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
I got to start adding that in there somewhere. Leave us a rating there if you don't mind. We'd really appreciate it, and that'll help us out. And be sure to check out our Patreon to support the podcast. All those links are in the description below. But yeah, subscribe on the YouTube channel if you don't mind. If you're listening on one of those audio platforms, and you can see us on YouTube.
Yeah,
if you want to put a voice,
name,
a face to the voices. I don't know if there's any new people out there that
That's
hadn't heard
right.
it before. It'd be interesting. So, anyway, yeah, that's it. That's our episode 5, and we'll see you next time for episode 6. And I guess we're good.
We're good.
All right. Well, then we'll let it fade to black. That's gonna be a good one.